Hey everybody, this video is being made because a girl in my third period requested a little help on page 24. A really cool girl who I miss very much. It's on expanding expressions, as you can see there at the top. Expand is just fancy talk for, let's see, I think. Expand just means that you're going to distribute, and then you're going to combine your like terms. If you remember, the distributive property looks like if you have A times the whole quantity B plus C, then that's the same as doing A times B plus A times C. So we're going to use that on these expressions. In the first expression, I have a positive 4 that I'm going to distribute times a positive x. I'm going to throw that positive sign in there. So I've got positive 4 times positive x plus the next thing I've got is positive 4 times negative 2. That minus sign goes with the 2, not the x. So it's a negative 2. I'm going to erase this stuff down here. Now we just got to simplify it. So that's going to give me 4x plus 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Now, we don't ever want these two signs back to back like this, plus a negative. If you add a negative or say add some debt, you're really just taking away or subtracting. So we're going to simplify adding a negative to just subtraction. And that is our simplified expression. We can't go any further because we have a variable term and a constant term, meaning that the first term has a variable and the second one doesn't. So we can't go any further. Pick number 6, since we're distributing a negative, I always see mistakes there. We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to start with negative 1/5 times negative x plus negative 1/5 times negative 35. And we're just going to clean that up. A negative times a negative here makes a positive, so that's going to be positive 1/5 x, or 1/5 times x, plus a negative times a negative is going to make a positive. But I'm not going to write plus a positive, plus plus. I'm just going to write plus. So plus 1/5 times 35. I'm using a little shortcut here. If you feel more comfortable doing it the long way, you can. Where, you set up your little fractions, like put the 35 over 1, and then reduce where you can, so I can divide both these by 5. So you can do it this long way if you want to, but I just think of it as 35 divided by 5 instead of 35 times 1/5. So, but you do whatever you're comfortable with. Again, this is as far as I can go since I have one variable term and one constant term. So I'm done. Number 8, I picked that since that has 3 terms. It doesn't matter how many terms there are, that's how many times you're going to distribute it. So I've got a positive 3/4 times a positive 16x plus a positive 3/4 times a negative 27 plus 3/4 times negative 1. So we distributed the 3 different terms. That's okay. Now we're going to clean this up. Again, I'm going to use my shortcut. I don't think of it as 3/4. I think of it as 3 divided by 4. And 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then if I multiply that by 3, I get 12. If that is like, whoa, to you, then just go ahead and just set it up like this and do it that long way. Okay, we can take a 4 out of both terms here. And I get 12 over 1, which is 12. Whatever you need to do to get it right. Okay, so now I've got the plus sign. This would be a positive times a negative. So my answer would be negative, but instead of writing plus and negative, I'm just going to write subtract. So I'm going to subtract. This one's tricky because 27 and 4 do not play nice together. So it's going to be a little bit ugly. I'm going to have 3/4 times. I'm going to go ahead and put the 27 over a 1. Okay, now the last term over here. Add. Okay, I got a positive times a negative again. Instead of writing plus my negative answer, I'm just going to write minus. And anything times 1 is itself, so that'll be 3/4. Okay, first term's easy. I can just bring it down. The second term, I'll bring down the minus sign. 3 times 27, you can work it off to the side here if you need to, or do it in your head. So that's going to be 81 over 4. And then I'll just bring down the last term, minus 3/4. Now we finally get to combining like terms. This is a variable term. I don't have any other variable terms, so it doesn't have any like terms. So I just bring it down. This is a constant term, and this is a constant term. So I can combine them. If you remember the rap song, it said same signs. So these have the same sign. Same signs add. So I'm going to be adding these two fractions. To add fractions, you add the numerators and keep the denominator the same. And back to the rap song, it also said same sign, keep the sign. So I'm going to keep that negative right there. They were both negatives to start. I can clean this up a little bit. 84 over 4. And that would be 84 divided by 4 is 21. Now I'm done because I have a variable term and a constant term. I don't have anything else to combine. Alright, 2 more problems. I'm not going to work them out, but I am just going to give you a little heads up. On number 9, you only distribute to what is in the parentheses. So that plus 2x is going to be totally unaffected when you distribute. Just bring it down in the first step. And for number 10, where it asks you about equivalent expressions, I wrote this down here. I'll bring it up. Up here where we can read it. So in equivalent expressions, what that means is if you have 2 different expressions, you expand them and they simplify to the exact same expression, then they are said to be equivalent expressions. So, just a real quick example, if you have 3x minus x, that's one expression. And then you have x plus x as a different expression. They don't look the same, but they are equivalent because 3x minus x is 2x and x plus x is 2x. So they simplified to the same thing. So they are equivalent. And that's it for equivalent expressions. Again, thanks for the request. See you on the next video. Bye.